Welcome back to my channel, my crystal kings and queens. So today I am doing a 2-month update with my Moldavite. So a 2-month Moldavite update. I wasn't sure, or I didn't want to begin to base my channel off of Moldavite, but I'm telling you, this is such an intriguing stone that you just almost can't help it. Like, you have to document your journey or everything that happens or is going on. So as for me, that's what we're here for. This is my physical journal, my physical documentation of my Moldavite transition and transformation. So this has just been the craziest, most interesting, most oddest, most unique, most translucent, most raw, most diverse, most inconvenient, confusing, wonderful, amazing, magnificently twisted journey. It's been a blessing since having Moldavite around me. There's a lot that I'm going to need to put into video in regards to, I'm sorry, I was like trying to make sure that this is actually recording, because it's been breaking up my recordings quite frequently and I don't know why. But I'm gonna just try to not make this as long. But there's so much I can put into video about how I feel, what I think in reference to Moldavite, but I'm going to some way, somehow have to figure out a timeline for all of this, because there is so much. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to attempt to do that video once my book comes in that I had to order. Like, it's so much research that I have done and so much further that I could go with this. It's just, it's unimaginable. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. First of all, let's just point out the fact that Moldavite is my freaking astro signs stone. Like, I just cannot with this. I'm a Taurus, and I just absolutely love the fact that this stone is meant for Taurus. So I do have it together, and I have it right, finally. My sun sign is Taurus, my moon sign is Pisces, and as you can see here, the astro sign for Moldavite is both Taurus and Pisces. So sun sign, I'm a Taurus, moon sign, I'm a Pisces, and my ascending and or rising sign is actually Virgo. So learned that, had to make sure that I had those terms correct, because your girl is always into messing it up. I'm not quite sure why, but needless to say, I'm just like, I'm blown away that this stone is specific to my signs. So I love that. But that's not why we're here. Let's go ahead and get into what's been happening with me. I have to kind of, jot things down as they happen or as I remember it. This could get a bit explicit, so just kind of bear with me, because I started this documentation a few weeks ago, but it all ties into my 2-month Moldavite update. So this is where I'll start. So I wrote here, amongst a lot of other things and changes, the purging of toxicity is the absolute #1 thing that you'll experience with Moldavite in your presence. Moldavite will not cause this. It only amplifies things. Everybody has it a bit twisted and a bit backwards. Moldavite does not cause anything. The only thing it'll cause is the sensation you feel as you place it in your hand or around you. You will only feel the energy that it has while it's in your vicinity, your atmosphere, your area, your direct, close contact, your direct surrounding. It's just what you feel. It's the energy you feel. So it's not causing anything but the energy it already has. It's only what it does or what it is doing, or the energy that it has. It just tends to amplify your foresight of everything that's already there, already happening, things that are already happening. It just amplifies it. It makes you focus on it. It makes you completely just, focus on that one thing or few things that you just simply choose to disregard. So it definitely amplifies that, makes it, having it near makes you want to purge of all things unnecessary, and that's just the way that goes. But you will also release a lot, excuse the way I'm gonna have to say this, and I try to keep my channel as clean as possible, but you will purge yourself of a lot of shit. Literally. I'm not saying just those things that shouldn't be in your life are being removed. I mean, anything in your system will absolutely be removed as well. You will find yourself doing a lot of crapping to get rid of whatever it is that you got going on within the internals. So we're all human here. We all have the moments. We all have the bowel movements. That's just what it is. This ain't that type of channel. However, I just want to, make this clear and put it out there so that you actually get the point that I'm trying to make. So I was watching this video, and these two young women, this one lady, I forget her name, but she's completely made a living off of Moldavite. Like, she is teaching classes, she's showing you how to work with it, blah blah blah, blah squad, that type of thing. And she just recently gotten a partner that has joined her in on the journey. They met some way, somehow. They got their own little story. This ain't this. This ain't that. So basically what they both were talking about was, it was so silly. It was just like, but it was so serious. She was saying, I really didn't know, and this is just me paraphrasing. She was like, I really didn't know that having Moldavite would make me have to go to the bathroom so much. Literally just making her crap all the time. And I was just like, wait a minute. So I ain't the only one. Like, my system wasn't tolerating a lot of things, and so for that reason alone, it was just like anything processed, anything that was just unhealthy, fried, or just things that were considered junk or fatty or whatever, I was just unable to eat. Not to mention, like, I have to drink water now, like, all of the time. Like, I just have to. So long story short, and my point to this making is that it just legit makes you go to the bathroom. It will purge your system of whatever that shouldn't be there. Like, your stomach will get the bubbling and hurting and all that, feeling nauseous and all of that, whatever, go ahead and comes out the other end. So I just wanted to put that out there. But, and that might have been too much information. Maybe I should put something in the video saying, if you are a little queasy or sensitive to the ears, don't listen, or like fast forward. I don't really know. Okay, anyways. So yeah, basically your body just, finds a way, or will find a way via your mouth, you know, via root of your mouth or root of the, you know. So, it will find a way to release all toxins from your systems, from your system, as it has happened to me. Now, I, specifically on one of my days, I won't give specific dates because, I mean, I know it's not really relevant to you all. This has just been happening. But I was taking a hot shower, and I love hot showers. Like, I love really long hot showers, or like really long hot bath times or whatever. But I was taking a hot shower, like I always do. In this specific moment, I was in there for quite some time, per usual. Door closed, all, you know, vents going, blah, blah, blah. But when I got out of the shower, I felt like extremely nauseous. I felt extremely weak. I felt like I couldn't move. I couldn't catch myself. I felt a little incapacitated, a little handicapped for that matter. Like, I just couldn't do anything except lay on the floor, and that sucked. But it helped ease, you know, the feeling a little bit, because of the cold ground. And it was just, gosh, like clean, fresh out the shower. I lay on the freaking floor. But I felt really, really nauseous, really, really sick to my stomach. And it was just the absolute worst feeling ever. I had never gotten this feeling ever while getting out the shower. But mind you not, my pendants, my 2 pendants, I actually keep on. I keep on my neck at all times. As of recently, I had taken them off and put them back on, but I'll explain to you why in just a few. So that happened. I thought I was going to have to vomit, and you know what, at the same time. So your girl was just like posted up on the toilet and like looking for something to puke in, all at the same time. It was just like a big mess. It was just like, it wasn't pretty. Like, it was just not a pretty feeling, a pretty situation for me. So when I, you know, while going through that, obviously, just not the best feeling at all. But I had to, my thought process was to be able to move from the floor to the room, and I just really couldn't do that. But I started sweating immediately. I started sweating profusely. It was just kind of nonstop. And then that kind of went on for like an hour. Like, it was just the worst, the absolute worst feeling ever. So that's what it was. So the 2 young ladies on YouTube that's now making a killing off of this Moldavite situation, or more so one of the young ladies, they called it the Moldavite bowel. Well, did they call it that, or did I? Let me see. Okay, they didn't call it anything, but it was what I named it. They said, or they called it excessive pooping, when, you know, you're just trying to be, when your system is trying to rid you of whatever it has within it, and it's not via route of your mouth, obviously via route of the anus. So they just called it excessive pooping. I called it the Moldavite bowel experience. Like, we're gonna get into that too. I got like a whole video of Moldavite terminology. It's freaking ridiculous. So they went into that. That happened with me. So I experienced what the young lady was talking about, had been experiencing it. I thought it was just me. Obviously, it was not just me. It's just something that is also common, you know, with people who wear Moldavite excessively. So, you know, the Moldavite bowel experience is more so like diarrhea, which sucks. So, on to the next. Obviously, I just, here and there, I've had emotional breakdowns. So I've had a few of those since having Moldavite around me. Not saying it's the Moldavite that caused it, but it did definitely amplify a lot of feelings, a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions that I had already had. things that I had just kind of been dealing with and going through. And it was just like, you know, what you gonna do about it? Fix it or leave it? I don't know. So let's see what I put here. So even crazier, on yesterday when I got off of work, I was talking to my mom about my feelings and emotions, how sad, how angry, how upset, and how disappointed I was, and just how I was feeling in general, how I felt like I needed to be free of all those feelings. Just I needed to wash myself clean of everything that just did not feel like me, everything that was out of the ordinary of my normal character. I just wanted to be rid of. So after telling her I wanted to let it all go, and I just wanted to let things be the way that it needed, let things be the way that they needed to be, and, you know, pretty much just stop worrying about things that I just simply can't control, or do something about the things that I can. So after I told her and explained all of that to her, it was on a Sunday. I was coming home from work, and I was waiting for my church service to start at 9:30. So once the service came on, I listened to, you know, the intro and all that greatness or whatever like that. And then my pastor or my bishop came onto the screen, and it was so funny because on that very day that I was explaining that, you know, explaining to my mom I need to be rid of all these unnecessary emotions and feelings and thoughts and all kinds of, you know, BS. It was so funny that the sermon that my bishop was going to preach in, you know, within the next few minutes was titled Pick Up Your Feelings. And I don't know if a lot of you all know, but Jasmine Sullivan, she has a song. He based his sermon around this song just a little bit. But her song is called Pick Up Your Feelings in her new album or EP, whatever it is, called Hotels. It's spelled H-A-U-X, Tales or something like that. I don't really know. This is non-spawn, you know, no free promo, so we ain't gonna talk too much about that. But the basis or the foundation of the sermon was basically that it is okay to be angry, because we have the right to emotions. God gave it to us. You know, he gave us the right to our emotions, and gave us the right to feel every sense and every bit of those emotions. Just, but also, and that's what I want to say, excuse me, but also gave us the choice to either refrain from acting on those emotions, or acting on those emotions and it causing whatever consequence that we are to endure from that point on or forward. So that was the foundation of that, you know. So again, you know, we're not to act on angry emotions or, you know, any emotion. We're not to act out of emotion, period, you know, because there's so many different things. Act out of emotion unless it's, you know, of genuine heart, of love, of kindness, you know, that type thing. Anything outside of that, anything the opposite of that, is just, the results are just not what it should be. They're not good. So moving forward, within this sermon, the stipulation was to the stipulation of the sermon was that we had until midnight to stop feeling every bit of madness we were feeling, every bit of anger, every bit of hate and judgment, and just whatever that is just unlike, you know, God, just anything that's not Christ-like. We were to release all of that by midnight, and then, you know, go into that healing process, however that may be for you. So that was the homework and whatnot. And, you know, basically those feelings are just to not carry over, or, you know, or to no longer carry power over me, you, whatever, from that point forward. They're not to linger with you. So that was just a really great sermon. I just thought it was a really awesome connection that it had via, you know, per the conversation that I had previously had with my mom on that very same day, that morning. before the sermon, before I knew the title, before anything was released. So I was on the right line. I was on the right path, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like everything, pretty much like everything that was happening, everything that had happened to me from the Moldavite bowel experience, that happening to me, you know, a week or two later, running into a video that explained, that had people explaining the same experience that they had, that I was having via the Moldavite bowel experience. And then, you know, me feeling like I needed to just brush myself or clean myself, scrub myself of all anger and, you know, sadness and all that other kind of, you know, opposite emotions of love. And, you know what I'm saying, just to have to rid myself of those things, only to run into the sermon a few minutes later that very morning, you know, without anything being released. It was just like everything was lining up, just like in perfect order, in a perfect line. So I don't know, I guess I just felt like I was aligned with what was actually happening and what was going on. So that was that. That same morning, I took an extremely long bath, like super long, super soothing. Had a 2-hour gospel jam session, relaxed in prayer and in meditation with God. Had me a whole lit incense going. Spoke positivity over me, spoke encouragement to myself, you know, got myself into a place of motivation mentally. Like, I just really set myself in a really high vibrational headspace. Like, my mental space was on dope, like on point. It was just great. It was amazing. I was feeling super high, super high energetically, you know, vibrationally, just whatever. Like, I was feeling really good. So I also had every piece of my Moldavite that I had purchased, every piece of Moldavite that I initially had purchased, or just in general, all lined up on the tub, along with my incense and, you know, my music going at the same time. So that was really dope. Yeah, outlined my whole tub. And then 3 hours later, I got an unexpected phone call. From that, with that unexpected phone call, I was given 3 unexpected gifts and 1 extra unexpected bonus gift that was for my sister, which was super duper great. I also had an unexpected encounter that allowed me a very long and overdue, as well, long awaited release, per genuine closure. Like, I just really needed the closure that I was given, that I had also been anticipating for probably a couple of years now. So that was really nice. Then after that, I got yet another unexpected situation, which was 3 unexpected text messages. It was just like everything was coming in threes. Like, what was that about? What? 3 unexpected text messages from someone that I had fallen out with a long time ago, or a friend I had fallen out with at work. But those were really good messages that were sent to me, and I mean, I wasn't expecting it, but I welcomed it, and it was really appreciated. On top of that, after that was a really great day. After that, I think, was it 2 days later? 2 days later, the same day, but it was further into the night, like closer to midnight or whatever the case was. My Moldavite, my pendants, both of my pendants, they got extremely duper heavy around my neck. Like, the heaviest I had ever felt them. Like, these are some, you know, this is a pretty good size Moldavite. I think it's about 10 grams, maybe. I really have no idea. This one, I think it's about 2 grams, but they're already heavy on its own. However, it felt like somebody was just pulling at my necklace and or at my chain, and I had no idea why, but it was just a lot heavier than normal. So on to 2 days later, around 9:30ish p.m., something like that, I was watching a handful of Moldavite experiences on TikTok because it has just blown up all over TikTok for whatever reason. Apparently this started last year, and I was on TikTok last year. Like, I have an account, but I don't post anything. Last year I was in and out of TikTok, didn't really pay much attention to it because I just felt like it would take too much time away from me, and a lot of things would be moving around me that I wouldn't notice. So TikTok, someone posted some kind of video that went viral about Moldavite last year, and since then everyone has been buying Moldavite up. Luckily for me, I had not seen this video, had no idea, no clue, no knowledge of this video before I bought my very first Moldavite, which was my Moldavite pendant chapter. I'd never seen this darn video. I didn't even know Moldavite was a thing on TikTok. Like, I knew that there was a spiritual TikTok, but I hadn't even decided to look into that. Like, I don't know. I don't know where I was, but I purchased my Moldavite pendant before I had seen any video about Moldavite, let alone any video about, you know, crystals on TikTok. Like, before I just truly knew how deep spiritual TikTok went, I had already purchased my Moldavite. So I didn't jump on the trend. I didn't jump on the fad. None of that. I was there without the fad, without the trend. So back to my point. I was watching Moldavite experiences on TikTok all evening, and then talking to my cousin on the phone, had a really great conversation. I was feeling just fine. I was watching TV, like I was laying down. It was like a really, really good night. Then I felt the urge to kind of go to the bathroom, so I was like, okay, let me go to the bathroom. Went to the bathroom, boom. As soon as I went to the bathroom, like, that sudden rush of nausea and queasiness and dizziness just kind of like flushed me. Like, it just came over me so hard. It was so terrible. It was the worst feeling ever. This was past, like, the way my stomach was feeling. I was like, yo, this ain't no Moldavite bowel experience that I'm about to have. This is about to be treachery. This is this is the danger zone that I'm entering. This is gonna be bad. So from there, hang on. From there, I started texting. Nope. From there, after feeling, sorry, I got sidetracked. After feeling like that, feeling like the absolute worst, just kind of, excuse my TMI, after just kind of sitting on the toilet or whatever, I just felt the worst I had ever felt in a long time. I felt like I had a virus of some sort. Like, I was perfectly fine up until the point that I stood up just to simply go pee, you know what I'm saying? And when I got in the bathroom, it became the total opposite. It was bad. It was so bad, y'all. You have no idea. I was in the bathroom for 3 hours. 3 hours. The Moldavite bowel experience was real. It was, like I said, treacherous. The bathroom was a danger zone. Like, it was just terrible. I began vomiting excessively. It was, you know, the bowel movement excessively, aka I was just really trying to get rid of everything. Like, my body was trying to get rid of everything it had ate that day, everything it had ate, you know, 45 minutes prior, up until the point that I really just couldn't vomit anything else anymore. And I started, like, little spews of blood kind of started coming out. You know, I was just vomiting like spews of blood, and it was very scary because I had not experienced anything like that ever in my entire life. And I was just like, I was super hot, super sweaty. My lips were pale white, my skin pale white. Like, it was just a really terrible experience. I wouldn't wish that on anything and anybody. So that happened for 3 hours. I'm sorry. That happened. Well, yeah, that went on for 3 hours because I was in the bathroom for 3 hours, and it was just like, bless my soul. I'm like, I can't stand. I'm such a hygienic and germophobic type of person. Like, I'm a hygienic person, but I'm a germaphobe, and I'm just like, I don't like smells. I'm like, everything that I can't fathom any sense while I have that kind of stuff going on with me, because it just makes it worse. And it just makes it worse. So I'm like, I'm cleaning up, spraying bleach, Clorox spray everywhere, wiping, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm cleaning up and just, you know, everywhere at the same time. It's just, I was a mess. Like, I was a whole cartoon mess in there. But that's how that went. I was also, you know, for my women, Red Ribbon was here. Like, I don't understand. Like, this was just the worst moment ever. I'm not gonna talk too much more about this, but Red Ribbon, if y'all get the hint, ladies, what I'm talking about, that was here while this is all going on at the same time. I had a humongous headache, migraine, like the worst throbbing in my head that I could have ever felt. I was lightheaded, I was dizzy, I was nauseous, I was sick, I was queasy. It was just a mess, and I just really thank God that all of that is over now. Like, I don't ever want to feel that. Let me tell you something. When I started going through that, these babies right here, I ripped the snap off of these things. Like, I ripped this thing off my neck so fast. I said, oh no, what we're not gonna do is do this to me. We're not doing this no more to me. So that was actually all of that happened on the 1st of March. And literally I did not put this stone back on, these 2 stones back on, let alone on my arm, on my wrist, until today, which is about 25 days later. 25 days later, I couldn't wear it. I was carrying Moldavite around still in my pocket, you know, stuff like that, just not direct skin to skin contact. Moldavite I could not have any skin to skin contact. I mean, I could touch them obviously and pick them up, but I would not carry them in my hand for longer than about, you know, 5 to 10 minutes. I'll just keep them in my pocket or what have you. So, I mean, and then I did sleep with it like on my forehead with my wrap bandana around my head or while I slept. So that's how that went. I still got so much to go, and I'm 33 minutes in, so I might make this a part 2 because I legit just went too far into all of that foolishness. That was just a total mess. But before I do end it, I am going to mention this because I can't really remember what day in specific this was, but 2 instances where my Moldavite caused complete chaos at work. The first instance was where some girl thought she was just gonna try me. So I really don't, I very rarely have any issues at work. That's just not a thing. It makes absolutely no sense. But this day, someone thought they was gonna play with me, and I didn't know her like that. So she thought she was gonna get up in my business, and that wasn't the thing to do first of all, I don't know you. Who are you? So she questioned me as though I wasn't the adult that I am that pays the bills that I have with the money that I make. And I'm waiting for a follow-up question, like, or a follow-up statement. I'm just playing, my bad. But no, we didn't have none of that. She felt like she was just going to keep, reiterating what she said as though I wasn't going to get onto her case. We're not friends. I don't know you. So, I snapped. I legit snapped. I went off on her. I came back into my workstation and I was just going off. Everybody was just like, oh my God, we've never seen her like this. What is the matter? Who is she, talking about? Like, I am usually very vocal and I'm very blunt and straightforward with people. I'm very honest, but I'm also, very sweet. I'm not ever disrespectful when I talk to people. Like, that's just not a thing to me, because I want the same respect, given when I give it to you. So, this day, I said exactly what I wasn't thinking. Like, it flew out my mouth before I could catch it. Apparently, because her boyfriend was out there along with 2 other people that were unfamiliar to me, including the person that I was actually dealing with or talking to at the moment. Like, we're in a group setting and you behave this way. So the minute that I feel offended, like, my mouth said what my mind wasn't thinking before I could catch what flew out my mouth. So I snapped, and I just thought that, the point I wanted to make with this specific moment is that having Moldavite in my vicinity or in close proximity, close to me, on me, no matter, skin to skin contact or not, just having it with me or on me, I have been so much more verbal. I've been so much more confident about what I'm gonna say. Like, I'm not afraid to say what I need to say, what I feel. Whatever I'm feeling, you are going to get it. Usually I can do that, but it takes a little bit to get me there. Like, if I'm upset, I shut down immediately. Like, I just go silent. I won't say nothing. But this moment right here, I got upset and I snapped. Like, it just didn't even matter. It didn't matter what she was going to feel like. It didn't matter what anybody else was going to feel like around her. It didn't matter what kind of words offended who, what, where, why, how. I didn't care. It was just going to happen. It was going to come out, and it was just going to be what it was going to be. Her boyfriend said that I took, her boyfriend actually had to stop me. I ended up balling my fists up. I did not know this. I took 2 steps forward. Didn't know that. I was about to get this girl. I was going to get her, and wasn't nobody going to stop me from her getting got. Like, that was just what it was going to be. So I'm not saying Moldavite put me in a fight mode or in an offensive mode or defensive mode, I'm sorry. But at the same time, it was like, you're not about to play with me. You're not about to try me. And that was just kind of the moment that I had with that. So just wanted to put that out there. If you have some Moldavite, you might have that sense of urgency to actually start saying what you feel, instead of, if you're a passive person or you're a very gentle person, you'll still be that with a little more addition. So I'm going to leave it at that. This has been my part 1. That was 2 fingers. This is my part 1 to my 2-month Moldavite update. Stay tuned for part 2. I will be in the same get up, because clearly your girl can't stop talking right now. So thanks so much for joining me. Thanks so much for rocking with me. And I appreciate you all so very much. Crystal kisses and royal blessings. See you in the next vid.